In this video, I'll show you how I submitted my short film, 7 Sharp, to film festivals. The steps of getting there, the results, my experience, and which festivals straight up tried me. So I live a very interesting life. I spent years studying undergrad as a theater major, trying to become an actress like Angela Bassett. Y'all see that? Now, of course, when I moved to LA, I realized that I wasn't in love with it anymore because it's very, very different from theater. TV and film, very different. So I split my time as an actress as well as a teacher, teaching high school English and theater, as well as producing and living a very exciting life as a red carpet host. So there aren't too many filmmakers like me that have the experience, talking to celebrities, possibly trying to get them in your film, as well as, producing behind the camera and being an actress on camera. So I wanted to come here and talk to you how I became an actress turned producer turned an award-winning filmmaker. So how long did it take to make 7 Sharp? Okay, so first of all, let me just stop and say congratulations. Congratulations, you are a filmmaker. That means you have invested in yourself, you have sacrificed, and you are on the right steps and journey of entering film festivals or going another option, which we will talk about in this series, distribution, straight to distribution. Some people go straight to YouTube. We're going to talk about that in a separate video, but I just wanted to say congratulations. Now, back to the question. I wrote 7 Sharp in about 2 months, shot it in 2 days, and then spent 6 months in post-production. Post-production was a nightmare. Next question. How was Cannes? Now, this was probably the most asked question, and it deserves a video all by itself. So I'm going to go ahead and make a video about Cannes, but I will say this. I will not return to Cannes if it is on my own dime, unless a film festival is flying me out, unless there is a project that is sponsoring or paying. That is the only way I will return. Did you submit the completed film or a rough cut? Okay, so we all know that most of our film festivals, you use filmfreeway.com to submit into these film fests, but that is not the only route. Sometimes you could submit to them directly, right? With Film Freeway, it is so great because they give you options to become a member. If you know that you're going to submit, you could get discounts by becoming a gold member. And then they have a great filtering system where it shows you, if you want to break it down into African American films or by category, LGBTQ, Asian, things like that. What the deadlines are, if it is Academy qualifying. Yes, my film was accepted into an Academy qualifying film festival. But when you submit, you make a selection, and a lot of people don't know this. Not only are you paying to submit to the film festival, but you are also paying if you want to, have your actress be considered as best actress. Not in all film festivals, but in some. But there's a little box where it'll say, are you submitting a rough cut? And if you are, please explain what's missing. Now, do not fall for this okie doke, because a lot of times they don't pay attention to those notes and they do not want to see a rough cut. They just don't. So I completed the completed project. So the question is, do you submit directly to film festivals or use Film Freeway for all of them? This is a tricky question. It's not a tricky question, but to clarify, there were 4 that were not on Film Freeway. One was a prestigious award show that cost a whopping $350. If y'all want to hear about that, let me know. The other one one was a beginning, so prestigious award show. The other one was a brand new film festival, and the last 2 were kind of culminated together, but it was a money bag, like money grab type of film festival. I was not expecting, like a lot of times you think that you already know about the politics of this foolishness that happens with the film festival, but I really wasn't expecting these jokers to play me, try to take my money, not even show my film. It's so crazy. So we're going to talk about that. So let me just get back to y'all questions, okay? How many official selections and how many submissions? Technically, I submitted to 22 film festivals and was selected to 9. Okay? What was your film fest budget? Now, money, we're going to have to do a separate video where I give y'all line by line, but let's just say it started out with about $250, and then my leading lady as well as producer suggested some film festivals, so it became $500. And then after hearing about, the very prestigious award show, that was $350, that was added on, as well as ABFF with the whopping $75 film festival fee. Listen, when y'all start to look at these festivals, they could go from $25, 40, 50 is about average, and then you have some for $75, $80, especially if you start missing deadlines. But ABFF, American Black Film Festival, those jokers wanted $75 without anything else, no late fees or anything like that. That's just the base price. But they do have a feeder program with HBO. Is it Stars? I don't know. If you win, your film could go to distribution. It will go to distribution with Stars or HBO, but I believe it's HBO. Okay, so how did you approach the film festival? What was there a strategy? Yes, absolutely. Because you don't want to spend so much money and you don't want to just submit blindly, you have to have a strategy. You can't submit your drama to a comedy fest. You can't submit, you can, they'll take your money, but it doesn't make any sense. So the strategy for 7 Sharp was to find films that focus on Black cinema, as well as women, and it did okay. I'm proud of my film and I think it did great. We did have 1 win, 1 nomination, and we also received a grant, honey. Yes, a grant. So I know y'all want to find out about that. If y'all do, maybe y'all don't. I don't know. Maybe you're just like, they got money? Grants? Free money for film? Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Leave a comment if you want to know more about it. That will be a separate video if you do. Okay, so the strategy is to find out what your budget is. First of all, money. Okay? Find out what the budget is like and then determine what type of film festivals do you want. For me, I was seeking film festivals, yes, centered around Black cinema, yes, centered around Black women, but also Academy qualifying, as well as do they have a pipeline program straight to distribution like Netflix, Stars, HBO, and there are film festivals out there that do. So that was my strategy. So I had about a list of 10, but then again, like I said, my leading lady and one of my producers was like, hey, have you considered this? What about these? What about that? So I added those to the list because that grant came through, that money to assist. And my EP, Gerald Jones, also came in to pay for some of the film festivals, like that whopping $350. Okay? So, next question. Has the festival circuit done anything for your career? Well, you know what? It certainly gives you a boost of energy. It certainly gives you this like, oh my God, this is so great. They actually wanted my little film. Or it also is fun. It's simply fun. Is that important for your career? I think so. I think you need to have some balance, to explore and go to different places. And it also helped me, as I move about my career, show that I have tremendous support. There were people that donated their time, their money. Now, I paid everybody on set, let's be clear, okay? So no one donated time. Everyone was paid. But I mean, like my friends and family that just said, hey, I want to support, I want to donate to your film. But career-wise, did I get a manager? Did I get an agent? No, but I did meet one at a festival. I did meet one. We did exchange contact, and I will be, I'll be contacting him soon so we could see what's up. Okay. Any offers? No offers. But we literally just wrapped. And so now I'm in a particular phase where I could take the win, I could take the nomination, I could take the cachet of my film went to Cannes and see what it could do with that. So I can't truly answer that right now because we're still in a process. It doesn't just end. An opportunity just doesn't end because the film festival is done. Just because you've had your film festival run, okay? You still have to work. You still have to go out, knock on doors, and say, hey, what to do? Well, you don't do that, but y'all know what I mean. Now, as I say this, my opinion may not be so popular, but hopefully this video will help you get more understanding about what film festivals are like and help you weigh in on your own opinion as to, do you go with the film festival or do you go another route? Okay. Now, you know what my nana said, oh honey, of course it was. You were able to be seen by so many people. You were able to go to different places and meet people you would never think you would meet, see places you never thought you would see. Of course it's worth it. So if I look at it through her eyes, yes, it was worth it. Now, in the future, will I do the film festival route again? No. I will not. Because I realize that a lot of film festivals will try to play you. Again, I expect the politics, but I didn't think that the politics was this heavy, man. You could be so good. I came in just as a new filmmaker. I wrote, directed, and produced this film, but I didn't come from with the school behind me, a program from Sundance, Collab. I didn't have this huge agent or manager to pitch me to these festivals. I didn't have an in with these festival people to say, oh, we know each other, hint, hint, take a look at I didn't have that. And I realized that the politics of it is so strong, honey. So strong, and I don't like that. I really don't. And I am still looking for fair festivals that are truly centered around the filmmakers and not the sponsors. Okay? The filmmakers or some people like Sundance. You expect to be like, oh, okay, this is great. This is a great award show, or Cannes. Honey, Cannes has not, in the 75 years of their existence, has only selected one black woman to compete. One black woman. She was an African American. She was French, black, a French black woman. But she was not from the States. Okay? It's foolishness. And then Sundance, they've had like a huge submission, over 10,000 short films, and even it was over 10,000 and 500 more. It was like the record of year 2022 of short film submissions. 500 more than last year. They only choose 300 films total. But then you ask yourself, film festivals like South by Southwest, Cannes, Sundance, they sit here and they give slots to these celebrity-driven films that already have release dates, that have $15 million budgets, and they give them a slot for what? Like, that's what you're up against. That is what you are up against, and that's the reality. So with the politics, with the, the ridiculousness of the celebrity factor that these film festivals are starting to get, which they don't even need. Y'all know the big story of A Quiet Place and how South by Southwest, you sitting around here for what? That's a $19 million budget. Why do you need to take up a slot from an indie filmmaker? So I will not go the film festival route again. So what is the alternative, you ask? Oh, you can put it on YouTube. Do I agree with that? I do not. Unless you go with a channel that is lucrative. They have a built-in audience already that's looking for films like yours. That's what I would say for YouTube. Or you could go straight to distribution. You know, some people say, oh, what about Amazon or Tubi? We need to make a whole new video about that, so we could talk about that later. But we're going to have more next week, next Friday. And I'm thinking, should we talk about the money? Should we talk about, you know, the film festivals that suck? Oh, and I never got a chance to tell y'all which one played me for Tokenism. So would I do a film festival again? The Run? No. My own experience that I had with Pasadena in my own city, and this was the city that honored me with a grant. It was a hard, Lord, very tumultuous, honey. This writing process, you know, of trying to get a grant. But the film festival, Pasadena International Film Festival, they tried to play all or most. I got to speak for myself. But I noticed that in my block of films, there was no common thread of theme, except for all the filmmakers were people of color. Now, when I went on a Saturday night to look at the films, that prime slot, right? All of the films had a theme like my film, but they were all white. All white. And then I spoke to another filmmaker who has since created his own film fest, and I sit on a board of it. It's called Black August here in Pasadena. But he was letting me know how the cops showed up to their screening because it was a documentary about Anthony McClain, the young black man who was shot and killed by the Pasadena police. The film festival called the police to make sure no one was getting out of hand. The foolishness. So it's like I expect the politics. I did not really expect that level of tokenism. I wasn't expecting that because I just really thought that it was better, especially after George Floyd. You know, these people started to get woke. Oh my gosh, what can we do? And they were learning about diversity and inclusion and all this stuff. And I'm like, oh, so y'all just have me here with these other non-white filmmakers, even though our films have no thread, no commonality at all. That was foolishness. So I would never submit to Pasadena International Film Festival. They played me. They used most of the non-white filmmakers as tokens. It was ridiculous. So I will not do the film festival route again. Now, we will be talking a little more, and I hope I will see y'all next week. All right? Thank you. If you have a topic that you want me to cover and discuss, put that down below. Thank you.